Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of TEPSA Presents. I'm your host, Todd Nesloni, the Director of Culture and Strategic Leadership here at the Texas Elementary Principals and Supervisors Association. We are thrilled to bring you these TEPSA Presents episodes, and today is a great one. Not only are we giving you a glimpse at one of the sessions at our TEPSA Assistant Principals Conference coming up on the 11th and 12th of this month, October, but you also get to learn from the Texas Assistant Principal for Elementary Schools, Jason Morgan. I'm so excited to have you here. I've been looking forward to this conversation. Tell everybody who you are.
Hey, how's it going, TEPSA? Jason Morgan. I'm the principal at Lumberton Intermediate School. Last year, for the last 3 years, I was assistant principal of Lumberton Intermediate School. And, like I was telling you earlier, Todd, this last 8 months has been a whirlwind. Went from Region 5 Assistant Principal of the Year to being named the National Assistant Principal of the Year for Texas. And then shortly thereafter, I was named the principal in waiting until Paige Wing, who was my principal at Lumberton Intermediate School for like 16 years. When she retired, they slid me in. So it's been a whirlwind of excitement and fun in Lumberton.
Well, hey, I am pumped to have you here. So I've got to ask about this assistant principal award because, there are a lot of assistant principals in the state of Texas and a lot of elementary ones, which you fall in that category, or you did before the promotion. So what was that experience like? Like, how did you find out you were selected, and what was the first thought that went through your head?
Okay, so the first thing, what's crazy is I got the call on April 1st. All right.
Of course. I
get the call on April 1st, and I'm like, hey, I think it was Harley that called me, if I remember correctly. Hey, this is Harley at TEPSA. Just wanted to congratulate you. I'm like, which one of my friends is playing a joke on me? Because I was, like I was telling you earlier, I was a coach for 17, 18 years before actually 21 years, but 17 at one school. So I figured it was one of my buddies that I'd coached with years ago that was, they knew that I was up for it, and they're an admin too, so I figured they were messing with me. So then I called my superintendent and said, "Hey, Dr. Tipton, I got the TEPSA." Goes, "You're fooling me, right? It's April Fool's, right?" So I was like, "Great." It was hard to explain to everybody until the press release went out. So it was an interesting an interesting day at that, and then just exciting from there. Especially with all the restrictions and everything that. There's a lot of things I didn't get to do because of the restrictions, but I'm looking forward to speaking at the Assistant Principal Conference here pretty soon, and getting to go to Austin for a little while, get away from school. I know we were talking about that. You need a couple of days away from school. Austin's a great place to spend a couple of days away from school.
Well, Jason, it's funny because, you have worked in small districts. We were talking about before how you worked in Silsbee, which I actually went to middle school there. You work in Lumberton, which is another small area. And I've always worked in small areas. And what I realized when you work in those small areas is sometimes you can feel looked over or less like you make less of an impact, or that there's all these people in these huge districts doing these great big things because they've got all this stuff. And so when you get the Texas Elementary Assistant Principal of the Year for the whole state, like, what's the first thing that goes through your head?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I was shocked. I said, "There's no way nobody else applied for the award." I said, I was like, because you have to, if you guys get nominated for it, you have to fill out just all these things, and you have to get people to send in letters of recommendation, and you got to write stuff about yourself. Like I was telling you, there's nobody that likes me more than me. So,
that's right.
So, I got to write about myself, and, I've been toying with going back to school and doing all these things. So I'm still a grad student at SFA. I just finished my superintendent certification, and I'm probably going to go back and finish up my doctorate there. And so I'm a busy person. I just don't like any downtime. It's one of those things that I guess that's the coach in me, and I always say that, and that's one of the things I'm going to talk about is being yourself. Don't be somebody you're not, and that's one of my leadership tips is when you know who you are, it is what it is, and you just got to roll with it. And people will see through you if you're not who you are. Like, for example, I said, I'm just going to do this off the cuff because I don't really write stuff down. thank goodness for computers, and I'm a tech person. And one of the things that that was commented about my technology, because we did technology lunch and learns, and we did I do what's called a one-stop shop for our campus. That it's a communication tool. It's basically a Google site, just real simple, easy, but it's something that teachers can see before they see me. That way they don't have to pick up the phone and call the secretary to figure it all out. It's all right there in their hands. You can put it on your phone. You can put it, through the Google Drive, whatever you need to do. So.
I love it. Well, Jason, like you just said, you are going to be at our TEPSA Assistant Principal Conference, which, yes, we call it the Assistant Principal Conference because we build it for assistant principals, but it's for anybody, like aspiring administrators, principals. If you need 2 days away to go and fill yourself with this awesome learning, come on out. It's October 11th and 12th, and you are going to be speaking at our luncheon on the 12th, sharing your top leadership tips. So I know you already kind of gave us a little bit of a glimpse at what you're going to be talking about. You shared one, and so kind of tell us what's your plan for this topic?
Well, number one, it's going to be at a luncheon, so everybody's going to be eating and clanking and banging around. So I'm a pretty animated guy, so I'm gonna be loud. I'm gonna talk about some things that has gotten me through my journey as an administrator. Like I was telling you, I got into admin late in my career. I was a coach for 21 years, and come to find out, there's not a whole lot of difference between coaching and administration as far as dealing with people, because you deal with people all the time. And I don't pretend to be somebody I'm not. One of my leadership tips is to surround yourself with people that know more than you or know things that you don't know.
Yep.
And you always want to, as a principal, I always want to say, I want to hire my weaknesses. So I always hire people that are my, if I feel like that's my weakness, I want to hire them. As an AP, you don't have the luxury of doing that, but you do have the luxury of collaborating with people on your campus and building teams and building leaders on your campus. And that's, to me, I love talking about leadership. I love reading leadership books. About 90% of the time, I probably have a podcast or I have an Audible going. One of my favorite books is The Energy Bus. I don't know if you ever read The Energy Bus.
Oh, yes.
Such a great book. And that's actually what we're doing right now is we're doing a book study on the Energy Bus. And, it's something that is kind of a motto that I live by is you can't be stressed and thankful at the same time. And it's something that, like I was saying earlier, I get to work at 6. I get out, a little bit before 6, then I'm running my kids around. And nothing I'd rather do is be with my kids. And that's, it's one of those things. And one of my other leadership tips is your family.
Yeah.
Share your family. Let people know you're vulnerable. The more that you share yourself with the people that you work with, the more you become a family. And my campus right now is, we went through a transition from someone that had been there for 16 years to me now. The good thing is that you guys that are APs, build those relationships, not just with your students. I mean, because as an AP, I know that, we're looked at as the disciplined people. And I always tell kids, and I tell parents this, is that our job is not to punish kids.
Yeah.
Our job is to curb behavior. And in my experience is the more relationships that you build with kids and the teachers and the parents, the community, the easier it is to curb the behavior, because now they don't want to disappoint you. And I know APs out there, y'all are on the front lines. Seeing it from a principal perspective to an AP position, it is a thankless job at time. And a lot of times you get a lot of the grunt work, and it's, put your nose down, go to work, love your kids, love the people that you work with, and don't be stressed. There's so many things to be thankful for that it's an amazing. We get to work with kids every day. And if you can't get excited about that, you might be in the wrong business. I'll be honest with you. I get to work with kids every day. I get to go give high fives. I'm, in elementary school, being a secondary teacher and a coach at times, I didn't have that experience with the elementary kids. And then when I went to an even smaller district than Silsbee, I went to a little town called Evadale, and I was the AP there, and I was also the AP for K through 12. So I got that experience with the little kids, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And there's nothing that's better than a kid coming up and giving you a big old hug.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you don't even expect it. It's like, bam, and there's nothing better than that as an elementary principal. And that's when you know that, or when you go to a football game, because I don't know about you guys, we have duties. We have to go to varsity football games. When you have 25 screaming kids and the fans going, Mr. Morgan, it's exciting. It's fantastic to see them out in the community doing things, going to Walmart. I mean, if you want to feel like a celebrity, go to Walmart. You want to feel good about yourself, walk through the cafeteria with the little kids. It's fantastic. There's nothing I'd rather be doing.
Well, Jason, you have so much energy. I love your ideas. And one thing I'll say too, I love that y'all are doing the energy bus. Did you know there's an energy bus for kids?
Yes.
So when we did the energy bus, we checked that one out too. Great. So awesome book, man. I cannot wait to hear the rest of your leadership tips that you're going to be sharing here in just less than 2 weeks now. So Jason, as we close out and as we leave people, we've got a lot of people, and you kind of alluded to how you kind of maintain your sanity, but COVID has thrown a whole nother level of exhaustion and difficulty. And so what kind of words of hope, words of inspiration, or how you make it through can you leave our people with?
Well, we've had a tough year on our campus. I'll be honest with you. We've had 3 teachers lose spouses on our campus this year, and it's been rough.
Yeah.
The amount of love that comes from your faculty when something like that happens is heartwarming, and I can't tell you. I'm a guy's guy. I've broken down and cried in front of my staff. It is what it is. Yeah. And it's something that's hard to explain, but my staff has come together as a family to support each other. And as an AP, as a principal, you're leading these people in a direction, and there's other things in the world going on.
Yeah.
Sometimes we got to take a step back and just go, you know what? It's tough.
Yeah.
It's going to be all right though. We're going to make it. Like I said earlier, we have the greatest job in the world. We get to teach kids. We get to be around kids. And, and this is happening in every community, no doubt. It's affecting everybody in a different way. My campus got hit hard this year, but there's some bright spots too. Yeah. We have kids learning. We have kids reading. We have kids interacting, being social. I say the school building is what levels the playing field. There's no, there's some kids that don't have technology and things like that. They come in the school building, they're on the same playing field. Yeah. And it warms my heart to see my teachers put the time and the effort. And of course, as an AP, it's, those kids need to learn how to interact socially. And that's one of the most important jobs as an AP, is to help those kids learn how to be citizens. I mean, yeah. I know that sounds kind of cliche, but there's so many things that I wish I could spin it a different way, but it's been a hard year. And I know there's other people out there that have had hard years too. And we're in it together. And that's kind of the way you got to look at it is, you pull your bootstraps up, you go to work, and you got to be strong for your kids. And when you come to work, it's sometimes it's tough. And sometimes, it's like I was saying earlier, one of my tips is be yourself. And I can't stress that enough. If you can interact and be with those kids, and high fives, handshakes, hugs, anything that you can do to brighten the day, it's something that I truly believe is something that I make a difference with, because my positive, I say positive energy all the time. Yeah. And I want to be the most positive person that they see when they walk through the door and when they leave the door. And, every now and then you got to chew somebody's butt, and that's okay too, but you got to build them up too. You got to build them. You can't just screw them down. You got to build them up. So it's one of those, and I'm probably rambling on now, and I apologize. So
no, you got
passionate about it, man.
You got good stuff there. We can see your passion coming through, and I appreciate your vulnerability and honesty there too. Well, Jason, thank you so much for coming on to our TEPSA Presents. We want to tell everybody, don't forget, we have the Assistant Principals Conference coming up in less than 2 weeks, October 11th and 12th in Austin, Texas. We hope to see you there. And then maybe we'll see you in November at our Grow Conference as well, where you can bring a team and grow together. It's unlike any other conference out there. But we hope you all have a great rest of your evening. Jason, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Hey, come see me. I will look forward to meeting you guys. Let's network. Let's build those